Greetings everyone! Mercedes had a great idea of entering one of the most lucrative segments of automotive market without huge investments because pickups have very good margins on them. I have a question for you. What do you get when Japanese, French and German companies join together for a very dirty night in cheapest and ugliest hotel near the highway without any protection? You get bastard child that no one loves. And some say that this was the first pickup from Mercedes and that's why this car is not so good. And that's not true. This was not the first attempt of Mercedes to create pickup. From 1972 to 1976, this wonderful and beautiful pickup was assembled by Mercedes in Argentina. This was 115 Mercedes that looked like a real Mercedes. Because it was a real Mercedes. It was very eye-pleasing, interesting to look at, with all the Mercedes interior, engine, transmission. The car was very soul-warming. New X-Class had problems from the get-go. Mercedes didn't want to spend money on research and development of the new X-Class because that's a very big risk. So they basically took a Nissan Navara, also known as Renault Alaskan, put the small same diesel engine from Nissan. There was a Mercedes engine, but I think Nissan engine in Mercedes is not very good. The only good feature about this car was the appearance. It was a very handsome fella. Front is very nice and eye-pleasing. Personally, I like the front of the car. It looks brutal. Also, side is not bad and the back is a little bit ugly but bearable. Overall, proportions are nice of this vehicle and it does look not very premium, but it looks a little bit more expensive than other competitors. Under hood we had the two Nissan diesel engines that I mentioned before. Both of them were turbocharged 2.4 liter straight 4 engines that develop 161 brake horsepower and 238 Nm of torque, and in another configuration of the same engine they develop 188 brake horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. Also, Mercedes offered their own 3-liter V6 diesel that developed 250 brake horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. And Mercedes offered one petrol engine, the 2-liter straight 4 turbo engine that developed 162 brake horsepower and 230 Nm of torque. And that engine was not very popular. Mercedes offered two transmissions. The first one was the 6-speed manual and the 7-speed automatic. Interior was one step higher than any competitors. Materials were a little bit better. You had brushed aluminum, nice leather if you had the leather, and basically that's it. Location of the buttons was not standard for the pickup, but you can get used to it. Sound isolation was much better. Also, car was more softer than competitors. Off-road capabilities of Mercedes X were a little bit better than competitors. So the big question is, why with all that advantages Mercedes X fail? The problems with this car are too big to ignore. The first big problem is that under the fancy name, the design, that was a still Nissan Navara. I have no idea why Mercedes gave it the chassis name of W470 when truly it was a Nissan Navara, and that's just ridiculous naming something. It's like non-binary people naming themselves cats or helicopter or dog shit, and we have to apply that to them. Same thing here. I know it's called rebadging, but anyway, I don't like people that call themselves what they're not. Another problem was the price. The price of the top trim is 15, even 25% higher than the top spec of Nissan Navara, Renault Alaska and VW Amarok, and some of them were even faster and better equipped than the Mercedes top trim. Yes, that sounds impossible, but that's actually true. In 2020, Mercedes stopped production of X-Class. My personal opinion that Mercedes' biggest mistake was not the debadging or the price. The biggest mistake was that they didn't put V8 twin turbo into it and make it full AMG car. There was potential of creating another cash cow like a G-Wagon with the V8 engine. Nobody buys a G-Wagon with the V6 engine, everybody buys the V8 engines. If they made full AMG X-Class with the 550 plus brake horsepower, it would be as important to the Mercedes fans as G-Wagon. But I think Mercedes didn't risk so much money on developing a Nissan Navara with Mercedes V8 engine and transmission that can actually go around the corner with 150-160 kilometers and not roll over. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this car, and take care. Bye bye.